Manchester City win their third successive Carabao Cup trophy. Kaizer Chiefs are victorious in the Soweto Derby. South Africa win the LA Sevens, and Anthony Joshua has his next fight. All of this on 90.6 FM Sports. Welcome to another episode of 90.6 FM Sports. I'm your host Gabriel, and I've got a recap for you of the events of this weekend's most important sport. Don't forget to give the video a like, subscribe to the channel if you have yet to do so, and hit the bell notification icon so you know exactly when the next video is released. Don't forget to watch until the end of the video to see our blooper of the week. It's definitely not something that you want to miss. Round 5 of Super Rugby took place and brought with it interesting results again. Starting with Friday, the Lions lose another game, and this time it was to the previously winless Waratahs. Hurricanes continue their strong form and absolutely mauled the Sunwolves 62-15, and the Japanese side is in its final Super Rugby season after failing to negotiate a contract to continue beyond 2020. And if they don't want to have their final season be a forgettable one, they need to pull up their socks, fight harder instead of allying for so many victories against them by such large margins. The Stormers have fallen in their first loss of the season against the Blues. They and the Sharks are now the teams to beat as they sit at the top of the log in the first and second place after Sharks beat the Reds. And the Bulls are now the only winless team in the competition, and it seems the fans are feeling the pressure even more so than the team itself. In a bizarre event, fans were evicted from Loftus Versfeld because of fighting. The situation was handled swiftly and the culprits were handed over to the SAPS. Tough times in South Africa, but it's not all bad news. The SA Sevens rugby team staged an incredible comeback to win the HSBC LA Sevens, earning an extra time win against Olympic champions Fiji 29-24. It was a repeat of the previous round's final in Sydney, but this time South Africa claimed victory by equalizing late in normal time and scoring the final try in extra time for a claw-back win. As always, lots of football took place this weekend, so here's a quick summary of the biggest games in each competition. Kaizer Chiefs extended the lead at the top of the Absa Premiership by beating long-time rivals Orlando Pirates in a tightly contested Soweto Derby. The first-off strike was enough to see them through against the Buccaneers, and the 2019-20 PSL trophy is looking more likely to go to the winners of the game. The race for La Liga just got more interesting as Real Madrid leapfrogged Barcelona and are 1 point ahead of the table after beating the Catalan side in football's greatest rivalry, the El Clasico. Many expected Barcelona to comfortably beat Zidane's side, but his tactical masterclass allowed for a great second half showing, and players like Vinicius Jr. and Toni Kroos starred in an important victory in the title race. In England, Chelsea struggles continue as they drew to Bournemouth. Manchester United and Everton also drew at Goodison Park in a heated match with a controversial finish. Everton's extra time winner was ruled out after VAR got involved in a decision many aren't sure was the correct one. Another blow for the technology as many are petitioning for it to be removed from the game in its entirety. Mourinho is finding life at Spurs to be a struggle as his team were beaten at home by Wolverhampton Wanderers, who produced another fantastic display in their pursuit for next season's Champions League. The Premier League story, however, belongs to Liverpool. The quest for the Golden Premier League trophy is over as they lose their first match of the season to Watford, who absolutely outplayed the champions-elect. This ensures that Arsenal remain the only team in Premier League history to win a season undefeated. It would have made for quite a beautiful story. Liverpool win their first ever Premier League title and they do it without losing a single game. But I must admit, as a Manchester United fan, I am delighted that that's not the case. It'll hurt to see them winning the title, yes, but this softens the blow just a little bit. And finally, Manchester City and Aston Villa faced off in the final of the Carabao Cup with City claiming a 2-1 victory and winning their third title in succession. In the last 5 seasons, Manchester City have won 4 Carabao Cup trophies, with Manchester United winning 1 in 2017, showing the dominance Man City have had over English football in the last decade. Aston Villa played their hearts out and it would seem that they would take Manchester City into extra time, but their final flurry was halted by the referee's whistle and ensured the trophy returned to the citizens. World heavyweight champion Anthony Joshua has his next fight and he'll defend his title against Bulgarian boxer Kubrat Pulev. The fight will take place on June 20th at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in North London. Despite Pulev being 38 years old, he has lost only one of his fights in his professional career, same as Joshua, and that loss came at the hands of Vladimir Klitschko, who was one of the best boxers of his era, perhaps even the best. Pulev is the mandatory challenger for Joshua's IBF title, and this will make for a grand bout. As mentioned earlier, we've got the blooper of the week coming up, and it's not something that you want to miss, at least not like this goalkeeper.
Oh no! Easy moment. That is just a horrendous occurrence for a goalkeeper.
That's all from me on today's episode of 90.6 FM Sport. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to give the video a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and follow all of 90.6 FM social media channels in order to be updated on the latest in sport. I'll catch you in the next episode. Peace.